In the early 1900s, 1 in 7 farmers were black. That's according to a report from Data for Progress. And here in Central Texas, black farmers were a large part of the history, with freedmen colonies and homesteads. In fact, some current area farms still acknowledge slaves tended to their land. But if you look around today, a lot of the black farmers are gone. We found one, and in this morning's Good Day Together, where we focus on communities of color, we introduce you to Tiffany Washington. She owns the Dobbin-Kauv Farm. She's also the descendant of a black South Austin farming community and granddaughter of Austin civil rights leader Dorothy Turner.
So I've been farming for about 3 years now.
Meet Tiffany Washington.
We're just kind of mulching the outskirts of our beds here at the farm.
Her growing space is over on the east side.
It's been kind of rough because it's hot and dry, so.
But it's passion that drives her.
It's smoky. Hot Texas heat. We use mulch as an outside protective layer up against our fence line.
Right now, she does most of the work herself.
I think it's just a passion in me. It's definitely something that I do that helps with my PTSD. So just the outdoor activity and engagement is good for me.
Out of high school, Washington went to the Navy. Now she's back in Austin, getting back to her roots.
Nice dairy cow compost. Farming is my lifestyle. And I don't see like farming as this job. And it's important to me that I see other people in my community be able to find opportunities within our agricultural system and within our food system.
And yes, even in farming, there's racial injustice.
I want to be able to feed my community. I want to be able to make sure my community has access to fresh foods, fresh fruits and fresh vegetables, juices and stuff like that, you know, not just take my produce and sell it to high-end restaurants.
Pointed words, but she has a pointed message.
It's like this socially unacceptable disadvantage to communities of color here in Austin, because they don't talk about agriculture. There's no agricultural equity that, you know, communities of color have in agriculture here in Austin, Texas, and there is none because there are no black farmers here. I'm the only one.
It wasn't always that way, but in Austin, things keep changing.
You will notice that food system does not look like it supports people like me. So with it being a food town, why doesn't the food flow into marginalized communities? And it doesn't because there's just that social injustice like food apartheid.
Now she's on a mission to re-sow the seeds in the fight against injustice.
I really don't have a choice. I grew up in Austin, like I said, so I come from a family of servicemen and leaders here in the community.
Well, we're a local organization that deals with the issues we feel affect the masses of blacks in this city, especially the grassroots.
Washington's grandmother, Dorothy Turner, was part of the Black Citizens Task Force, starting conversations about racism and black discrimination.
Politics governs our very being, you know.
Conversations ongoing for generations.
I don't know, it's just I think that it's a relief, you know, to finally be able to tell people how important it is for communities of color to have a stake in the local food system, because they're starving, they're scared.
A reality she's afraid some aren't willing to come to terms with.
It's the worst conversation ever. It's like, who wants to have to be that person to bring up the conversation? But if that's what I see every day and that's what I'm approached with every day.
A black farmer speaking her truth.
I want to grow farmers. I want to see more farmers of color who are learning how to be entrepreneurial. Who doesn't want fresh fruit? Who doesn't want fresh vegetables? Who doesn't want the opportunity to see a beautified space revitalized with flowers and just a happy space within their communities? You know, I don't think that should just be for, you know, one area you know, of the city that, you know, it's been known to be like this urban organic area. But just right now I'm just prepping, getting ready for the fall.
In our online story, we do have the City of Austin's response and what they say they're doing for our area black farmers. Washington is still raising money to help keep her farm up and running. You can find information online on social media at Dobbin-Kauv Garden Farm.